One thing is very much for certain, that God's will is not always done. Welcome to Unifier TV, where truth has no fear. We hear this saying all the time. People always say, well, if it's God's will, this is going to happen. If it's God's will, this won't happen. Yeah, but you have to understand that God's will is not always done. So, what are we going to do about that? How do we ensure that God's will is done? How do we know that if something doesn't work out, or if it does work out, how are we sure that that's what God's will was for that situation? This seems to be a mysterious issue when it comes to being a Christian, when it comes to believing in God, when it comes to operating in complete faith. We don't know what it takes to know for sure that God's will is done in our lives. How do we figure this out? What do we need to do? The very first thing we need to do is stop sitting around just hoping. Hoping is a good thing. Hope should be a prerequisite to faith. Faith should be a prerequisite to manifesting. We can't just sit around and hope all day long. There's nothing wrong with hoping because hope is the first step to having faith that something will happen. See, when you want something, right then you're hoping for it. Right then, the first time you desire something, whether you should or shouldn't have it, that's hope right there. Then that hope is supposed to turn to faith, where you believe that what you hope for is going to become a part of your life and you are going to have this. Then you're going to want to manifest what you're hoping for through faith. There are steps to this process. But one thing we never want to neglect is the will of God. So, yeah, it's as easy as saying, well, I want God's will to be done in my life. But how do you ensure that it is? You need to start praying stronger prayers. Instead of saying, God, I want you to do this for me. I hope you do this for me. Because there are different levels to prayer. Wherever your level is, God will meet you on your level, but you don't need to stay on that level if that's not how the Bible tells you to pray. The Bible tells us to speak to our mountain, speak to our problems, command things to happen in our life. We have charge over this entire earth and every living thing on the earth, including the outcomes in our lives. Well, we don't take advantage of that. We don't use that power. It's we, the people of Christ, not just we, the people. We need to go to God with complete expectation and faith and blind faith of everything that we are hoping for, and we are going to manifest that. The way we know for sure that God's will is happening in our lives is how we go about our prayers. Instead of saying, God, I want you to do this for me, I hope you do this for me, God, I need you to do this for me. How do you know God's will for sure? Pray this prayer. Whenever you don't know what to do, don't do anything. When you don't have no idea which direction to go, you have no idea, don't do anything at all. We all have big decisions to make in our lives. We all want to get things resolved. But the best thing to do when you're confused is to do nothing at all. You stop, drop, and pray. You say, Lord, I need you to work this out for me because I don't know what to do. Yes, God already has the answer. God had the answer before the problem even came up. Doesn't mean he's sitting there waiting for us to be down and out and to crawl and to be coming to him and with tears in our eyes before he'll do anything. No, but at the same time, when you know what your child wants, you're not going to continue to just give it to him before he asks for it. That's not how it works. You want him to come to you as his parent and say, or her parent and say, look, I need this. I want this. I desire this. This has to happen for me, please. Does that mean you want to see your kid begging and crawling and groveling? No, that's not what that means. That's not what that means. It means that you want to know that your child still needs you for something. Your child recognizes you as that source for everything they need. So this is how it is with Christ. We are God's children, and so this is what we do. We say, "Look, I cannot figure this out. I can't do this on my own. I have no idea what to do. I have no idea what direction to go. I don't know how I'm gonna make this work out. So I can't. I'm not even gonna try. I need you to work this out for me. Show me what direction to go. Show me exactly what to do and make it so clear to me that I cannot miss it." That prayer right there has changed everything in my life. When I was down and out, when I'm sitting there and I'm trying to do it all on my own, trying to make things work out, trying to make things manifest, the best prayers that I've ever prayed are the prayers where I said, God, I can't, but I know you can, and I know you have, and I know you will do this in the best way possible. So, any way that I think this needs to work out, any ideas that I have to make this work out, if it's not aligning with your will, don't let it happen. If whatever in my life, pray this prayer and mean it. Whatever it is around me or within me that doesn't serve you or your purpose or your outcomes for me in life, remove it from me. Whether it be a person, whether it be a situation, whether no matter what it is, if it's within me or around me and it doesn't serve your will and your purpose, remove it from me. Remove it completely from my life. Because I want only the things that are aligning with your will to have anything to do with me. If you really want to ensure that God's will is done in your life, only allow God's will to be done in your life by saying, this is all on you. Lord, I give this entire situation to you because I don't know what else to do. I cannot do this. I don't know what to do. And this is not going to work unless you do this for me. Pray that prayer and watch the outcomes manifest in your life. Thank you for tuning in. This has been brought to you by BioTrust. BioTrust plant protein and superfood protein mix is a game changer for me. You got to check this stuff out. It works perfectly with your favorite drink. I personally like to mix it with water because of how rich it is. You can also mix it with milk. You can make a smoothie out of it, put it in a blender with some fruit. However, you want to do it, don't just take my word for it. You got to check it out for yourself. So, click the link in the description and go ahead and give it a shot. You will not regret it. And don't forget, every order you place through BioTrust feeds a hungry child. So, keep that in mind. While you're benefiting, the children are also benefiting.